Good morning. How awesome is it that we have a big room full of people who are passionate about the client and about their experience. What I'm going to talk to you about today is serving small businesses. How many of you know a small business owner? If you didn't raise your hand, you're lying. Do you go to a dry cleaner? I really don't like hearing myself breathe. Do you go to dry cleaner? Do you go to a small restaurant, sandwich shop, something like that? We all know small business owners. And so we're going to talk a little bit about how customer experience works for small businesses. In my current role, I serve from small businesses all the way up to mega publicly traded companies. I'm new in this role, so I'm still figuring out exactly what I do. But all I do know is that businesses are a group of humans trying to do the best thing for their clients. So why are small businesses so important? In the US, there are 30 million small businesses. They create 62% of net new jobs in the US economy every year. Every year, 404,000 businesses start. And of those businesses that start, 65% of the people who start those businesses say that they started those businesses because they wanted to work for themselves. 35% say it's because they have a great new idea. And then you get down, keep going down, 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 and about 10% say that it's because they couldn't find something else to do. So really, they're doing this from their passion. And the things that they care about are about growing their business. It's also about improving their operations and creating profitability. Is that any different than large businesses? It is a little bit different than large businesses. So they're trying to grow business and their revenue. They're trying to increase their profitability, control their cash flow. Small businesses are so tied to cash flow. Payroll, all the things that lead them to be able to stay in business stem from having cash in and the right amount of cash out. They're trying to make sure that their assets are protected and that they have plans for what's going to happen with their business. Should they need to retire? Should they choose to sell it? There's a lot of different ways that you can move your business forward. And then a small portion are focused on just getting it off the ground. And if you know any small business owners, chances are really good they're a little bit stressed out. 57% of small business owners say that they're stressed out. And part of the reason why is because they work for themselves. And so they spend about half spend 6 to 7 days working. So every day they're working on their business. So I'm going to tell you the story of a very personal story to me of a small business owner. This small business owner happens to be my sister. And if you happen to go to Asheville, North Carolina, I would highly recommend taking a visit to Sandhill Kitchen. Sandhill Kitchen just won the best burger of Western North Carolina, also the best chicken sandwich of Western North Carolina, and just came in third for the best pimento cheese. Good place to stop by. So my sister started her business about 1.5 years ago. And what I've observed is she is everything in that business. She's the CFO. She's the CMO. She's the chief procurement officer. She's the chief HR officer. She has to do every single thing that is related to this business. On top of that, she has a little girl. She's a single mom. She's trying to keep her life in order too. When a business like SunTrust is doing business with a small business, we always have to keep in mind that these business owners, they don't have time. They don't have time to think about whether their balances reconcile or whether they got their right statement. They're so busy doing just keeping their business going. My sister's a great chef. My sister is not a great bookkeeper. Can you imagine? She's an awesome chef, but she doesn't like to focus on the numbers. So as a bank, we need to make sure that we're providing her with all of the tools that she needs to be able to do that part of the job that she doesn't like so much quickly, easily, steadily. In my previous role, I worked for a payment processing company, and we did some research among small business owners. And what we found was they really did do everything. We found out that some business owners work, they work 7 days a week and they work 10 to 12 hours a day, that they don't have time to think, and when you mess up and you create a bad experience, they will leave. They will leave. But on the other hand, if you can create an outstanding experience, an experience that is easy for them to manage, they will stay. We had one person in a focus group that we conducted who was talking about a competitor product. You may have, I'm going back to my payment days. You may have heard of a product called Square. Anybody heard of Square? Anybody not heard of Square? The thing about Square that is interesting in the payment processing world is they've really disrupted that space. And that space is all about making sure that the price is transparent, the experience works every time, and that they can reconcile their bill. It's easy to understand. We had one person in our focus groups actually say that she would cry if Square ever went away. That's the kind of loyalty you want. And small business owners need that kind of ease of doing business. So my special story about my sister wasn't, I swear it wasn't a paid advertisement for Sandhill Kitchen, but my special story is that she was a client of ours at WorldPay, where I worked before, and she had an in, because she would call me if she had a problem, and then I would call the head of customer service, and then we would get her problem taken care of. How many small businesses didn't have that opportunity and didn't have that? And so they never called, or we kept them on hold for 3 hours. Or, there could be tons of things. So when you're thinking about small businesses, just remember a couple of things, 4 things in particular. The keys to success for customer experience in small businesses: valuing their time, understanding they don't have much, and what they give you is precious to them. And they may give it to you at 2 o'clock in the morning because that's when they have time to deal with it. So make it easy for them. Be available to them. Use electronic resources. Do what you need to do to make it easy for them. They need to have confidence. So SunTrust, our purpose is helping our clients, or helping all Americans to have financial confidence. So for us, creating confidence is making sure they have the tools they need, that they have the information that they need to make good, solid financial decisions and be confident in that part of their business. And the last thing is to deliver what you promise. So if you promise them an easy experience and then you don't follow that up with an easy experience, then you end up with a very unhappy customer who will leave. Especially they will leave if they can go somewhere where they get to have a good, easy experience. So I don't know where I am on time, so I'm going to assume I'm up on time. But I just wanted to thank you all for your time, for your passion for the client, remembering that small businesses operate very similarly to consumers, but a little bit different, and to always focus on these 4 things, and you will have great success with small business. Thank you very much.